What's up, everybody? We are back on Major League Sorare for the weekend review show. We're the show that focuses on the America division with emphasis on MLS. As always, welcome, big part of Sorare TV. Happy to be part of the Sorare TV family. And once again, my normal co-host, Schuyler, is not, he's having a busy Sunday, taking kids all over the place, playing youth soccer. He's got some prospects he's developing. So we're here to talk about the Sorare aspects of everything that happened this weekend. And we are actually recording this before the LAFC New England match, which is late Sunday night. We like to try to wrap it all up, everything we can on Sunday afternoon. So we'll be missing that match. But hopefully you still get a lot out of this with all the other games because there was a lot of them. There was a lot of good action. I do have a co-host, though. I'm not alone. I have one of my old DFS soccer fantasy buddies. Welcome in pachegol, Luis Pacheco, one of the legends of the soccer fantasy podcasting community.
That's right, man. Hey, first time doing something with Sorare, which I always wonder how do you pronounce it in French, but like it is. Thanks for having me. I mean, this is exciting. I watch most of the games and highlights here and there. So, I really like Sorare. I mean, I think it's a great game to get in and to play. If you like soccer or fantasy, it's like a great place to be. So.
Yeah, so a little background before we get in. You see I got the top performers player page up and loaded. We see 3 100s scored in MLS this weekend, which was crazy so far. Maybe Boengo or Vela will get one tonight. Who knows? But I want to just give a little background because, Luis, you are the first ever fantasy podcasting voice I ever listened to back in the old days of Fantasy Insiders when it was you and Ben and Paul doing DraftKings Premier League fantasy podcasts. And you guys helped me take my game a level up back then, and I never really did get much higher than that. But you guys did make me better a little bit. So now we've both moved on to Sorare. You're known as the angriest man in Sorare in some circles for sure, because you definitely have a lot of good insights and opinions on what is Sorare's motivation sometimes in keeping the scoring low so they don't have to pay out thresholds and things like that. I always love to hear you go on a rant about that when we're chatting back and forth. So, but we do have, it's all love with Sorare, right? Ultimately, we either love it or we're addicted, or maybe those two things look exactly the same. Who knows?
Yeah, it's similar to DFS, right? Like, I mean, we are much more addicted to the platform than the people running the company. Sometimes it feels like, right? So it's and it happens everywhere. There's passionate about the platform and things to make it better. But we need to understand the motivations, right? Like for example, for me, like it's just. It's just not conducive to get so many negative points on fantasy games. Like the idea of the fantasy game is to root for your players and you get happy when they do something good. But every time they do something bad, you get mad because it really takes a lot of points away. It is what it is. We understand. We play it and we play with the matrix we are given. So, it is what it is. Like, it's just a matter of like, can I change the game if I could? Obviously, but it's I play it. Meanwhile, I just also I don't like the people that if you criticize it, you are bad or you're a troll. I think we all want to make it better, right? So, but enough of that. Like now,
I love it. Yeah. Someday we'll definitely do like a "What's Wrong with Sorare" episode and get your detailed thoughts on that. But yeah, if anybody ever. Find Luis. He goes by Pachegol on Twitter. It's like a portmanteau of your last name with goal, which I always love. So I think that's really cool. And we will and continue the conversation with him there for sure. Let's break into some of these games. We like to start on this recap edition of the show, looking at the top players and 3 100s in MLS. And I don't think if we had a contest before the week to say, hey, there's going to be 3 100s, pick one of these three that would have scored it, I don't think anyone would have got one of three right.
Not a single one. It was crazy. Jonathan Bond stopped everything over his head in Kansas City. Owen Wolf, he had an amazing goal. I'm not sure if he had an assist as well. I think he did. And then Aidan Morris was just bossing a midfield against a very passive Toronto team. So, if you want to go talk about the games, we can talk about it and what is the impact on Sorare. But if you have Toronto assets, you should be very worried because Toronto is a team that does not like have the ball, and they try to get the ball as quick as possible to Bernardeschi, and now
Mm-hmm.
Insigne doesn't have anyone else. They need a
Yep.
striker. I feel Toronto to being at home yesterday way too passive. Like you see Aidan Morris numbers, you see Darlington Nagbe numbers, lots
Mm-hmm.
of passes, lots of possession. And it's not that Columbus is a big possession team, but Toronto is really passive. So be aware of trying to get anyone from Toronto because they have a better team now on paper. I mean, we gotta see when Insigne come back, but I'm down on Toronto assets if you have them. So.
Yeah, that's a call that I agree with. I think I was kind of hinting at that last week, which is they're very volatile team in terms of their SO5 scorings can be way up or way down depending on the game and the matchup and
Very passive.
everything.
I mean, they really don't want the ball that much. So for Sorare, for
Mm-hmm.
those AA points that like passes over the middle, duels ones and stuff like that, they are not going to be your team for getting those numbers. So.
Yep, all about matching the game style play to the matrix for sure. I just want to point out we'll use the this Caleb Wiley score 83.5 as our transition point into the games because Charlotte Atlanta was the first kickoff of the day. 18-year-old kid, Luis, you are from Atlanta. I don't know if you consider yourself an Atlanta United fan or supporter.
Yeah.
I know you're kind of like a fan of the global game. You have teams and leagues all over the place that you're following, but I invited you to drive up to this game. You had other things that you couldn't make it. And I'm glad you didn't make it because I would not have been able to handle watching the grin on your face as Charlotte just looked absolutely horrible and really looked like absolute trash, to be honest. And an 18-year-old kid did it to him.
Yeah, it just happened. I mean, if we see the numbers, like Atlanta was, the usual team they kind of like sit down in a low block. But when they get the opportunity to get the ball back, Miles Robinson was pretty good. Like in the Almada goal, he just passed the ball to Almada, who looks like a player that he's not gonna last in Atlanta on the league for long. So it's just he looks like a man versus boys, right? But even though he's a boy, but and then like he has they have way too much space in the back. Like I felt that Charlotte commit too many numbers up front. Then Bronico or Westwood were too aggressive and tried to tackle. I mean, they didn't realize that it's hard to get the ball out of Almada. Seji was pretty good too. I think Rosero should worry about his job, and then like just Almada Araujo will grab most of the attention of the defense, and then just Wiley was open. So I feel bad for Pablo Cisniega. He doesn't have much to do in any goal. Like maybe on the Luis Araujo one because it's kind of like the shot wasn't as good. He might have to predict that, but otherwise it's not his fault.
Yeah, he got beat near post. Araujo was like cutting inside and then kind of reversed course with the shot. I think that one was savable for sure. The other two were like wide open. Like you had Caleb Wiley just shooting at an open net. Essentially, like he could have picked his spot for sure. And it was not much Pablo could do. He did try to dive on top of the second one, but the thing about this game, the 3-0 score is it was all in the first half. Atlanta went in at halftime on this with the 3-0 lead, and I saw a graphic. I'm a huge Charlotte fan, famously. If anyone pays attention to the show, people were actually some of my so rare friends were like tweeting yesterday, like welfare check on TrippinB. Like, is TrippinB okay? Like this guy's got to be hurting. Well,
I think there's some silver linings there. I mean, I thought that Charlotte should have like 1 or 2 goals. I mean, like Guzan got lucky, a couple of opportunities. One bad. He went out of his goal for a little bit. It wasn't a good play, and there was another like crossbar shot. I mean, Charlotte didn't look back on attack. I mean, I thought they were unlucky on not scoring. The problem was moving back, especially on the counter attacks. That Atlanta finally could get if Charlotte was a team like Philly that don't commit that many numbers up front, I think the score would have been a lot tighter. So.
Yeah, and Philly did end up losing, which we'll get to in a second. I would just say it's unfortunate for people who are Shinya Shiki owners. I actually have a friend who was like had an offer like in his inbox, like to like should someone had said, "Hey, I'll sell you Shinya Shiki for this price on like a counter offer," and he was like letting that offer like sit in his inbox until to see if Shinya started again because this was his second straight start.
Yeah,
and so as soon as he saw the starting lineup, I talked to my buddy and I was like, he's starting again. And he's like, he bought him. He like snap bought. He accepted the offer, and then Shinny went on to have like a really bad SO5 game. It's really unfortunate because I thought he was like probably our second best player on the pitch, if not the best at times. He was really active. He's really good as a pressing forward. He fits into like the press that Schuyler wants to play really well. Ended up being horrible for SO5, unfortunately, because he lost a lot of possessions. He had one play where he made like a really nice run into the box and had the great combination with Westwood on a back heel, but then he like held up the play a little too long, didn't get that final ball, as they say, like over to one of the strikers who were kind of standing on the other side of the box open. So unfortunate for him. Westwood continues to deliver as a card that I was touting earlier this season. Unfortunately, Cisniega is just not. Like, at this point, I know everyone's bailing on Cisniega. I know you're an owner. Maybe I don't know if you bought him on my rec or not, but I was definitely.
I did, yeah. And I have the super rare and the rare. No, I mean it's just I'll let you talk. I gave my thoughts after. I think you're totally on it. So yeah.
No, yeah, that's all I had to say. Is just like for the SO5, what do you think it's time to just bail on Cisniega, or even if he keeps the job, or what? It doesn't seem like Charlotte's going to be very good this year, unfortunately.
I mean, my opinion, goalkeepers, you just need a warm body, right? It's just sad that, you have the threat of Kalina behind you. I don't think he has been bad, but when the team is not winning, I mean, it's an easy change, right? It's an easy change. He was not supposed to be the starter. It's a situation similar to like Club America in Mexico, right? Like they have Malagon yesterday and everybody's so excited. He have a clean sheet against Tigres and everybody said the defense looks better. So, I'm down on Cisniega. I mean, I wish he can keep spot. I mean, I'm not sure the extent of Kalina's injury. I know that we've seen him training, but we haven't seen him on a squad yet. So I'm always worried about back injuries for goalkeeper because that's all you need for a goalkeeper. Your back has to be healthy.
Yeah,
right? So,
you're going to be diving and jumping all over the place,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a hard injury to recover. So it depends on the extent of the injury, right? He didn't have a preseason. He hasn't played with the new team. I mean, it's pretty much a new team, like as we saw of the, Anton Walk is gone for good, sadly. Very beautiful, emotional send off, I would say, though. And,
I thought that part was cool.
Yeah, I think so too. And the problem with Shinja Shiki, right? How you say it, right?
Yep.
It's like any camp on Sorare is a volatile position because if Charlotte who has a lot of the time, if you see his heat map, he's on top of the box most of the time, and he's trying to make plays because the team is behind. So he's gonna lose a lot of balls. I mean, you need to risk passes. I mean, in the area you are playing, if your team's a little bit lower, you can have those midfield, crossing midfield passes and gives a lot of points in Sorare.
Oh yeah.
But as it is, as a can in a possession without scoring, he has to reach the ball to that's the problem that wingers have too. So it's a problem.
Losing 11 duels ultimately is what kind of screwed him, obviously. I mean, he got 5 of them back, but -6 on just duels alone is not going to cut it for anybody, for sure.
Yeah.
On the other side, before we move on, just Caleb, we're not telling anyone any news to buy Thiago Almada, but I would love your thoughts on both Araujo, because he's someone that a lot of people do have, and also Wiley, because I think he's someone that not a lot of people have. And so are these both buys on these guys who have been kind of middling results before now?
I'm a sell on Araujo just because of the price, right? Like, I mean, it's easy to say buy Araujo because he's in penalty kits and he's in a high scoring offense, but I don't like Araujo as a player in this Atlanta United system. Like it works around Almada. And Almada needs people to run in space. Araujo doesn't like running in space. Araujo likes the ball at his feet so he can dribble or run with the ball at his feet. And I think he is what I call a trigger happy player. When he has pressure, instead of trying to dribble or pass, he shoots a lot. So that's good for the Matrix, but I don't know. I think for the price, you can do better than Araujo just because of the name alone. And I think Caleb Wiley, I mean, let's put it in context, right? Like he's 18-year-old, is a winger. I mean, if you think about the AA scoring is pretty low, right? So
yeah, I mean, he had 3 AA points with the clean sheet because he's a defender card playing up on the attacking wing. So
exactly. So I don't know if he did well, but as you mentioned, right, like the 2 goals he scored were like open net, almost 2 passes, because all the attention was on the other side. I won't buy Wiley at those prices, right?
No. It looks like some people did cash in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 sales just yesterday off his big performance, and they even they're almost up to almost 130% of his previous floor as of 16 days ago before yesterday. So yeah, I'm not buying it, but
I'm not buying either. Another thing for Sorare is it seems like Westberg has the second spot locked in Atlanta. So if you want to look at goalkeeping, you can buy Guzan and Westberg, and you buy probably a cheap starting goalie for the rest of the season. So Parthemis didn't make the team. He traveled and didn't make the team. He hasn't made the team in 3 games. So
probably better than Cincinnati at this point, unfortunately, for me, since I'm a fan and a holder. But let's move on. I always give a little bit too much time to Charlotte, probably on this team on this show for how their results have been. But Vancouver, Dallas, a 1-1 draw, huge score from our boy Nkosi Tafari. Loved to see that with the assist. Gressel had a bad game and still put up 50 points. So I think this Gressel is just one of the best cards out there right now, and he might be for a while. He continues to outscore Gold. What do you think about that?
Well, I watched this game. I have a lot of players on these matches, so I'm gonna get with you with Gressel. Gressel is playing a lot more central now. I mean, they have this Christmas tree formation where Gressel is more like interior midfielder. So not being a winger really helps his numbers a lot. He's taking a lot of the set pieces. So I'm with you. I think Gressel is probably the highest scoring player on Vancouver, and if the team can get the goals going, it might be a better card to have than Gold, I think. Gold was almost. Did he score the goal? I think he did, but they put an own goal, right? So he was there.
Yeah, I think they made an own goal, right?
And I was very surprised by Tafari's performance. I wish there was not these 3 center backs and 2 play one game and then the other one doesn't play that game. But Tafari was amazing. The first goal, he has a cross and hit Ibiaga in the head. I mean, it was amazing. And then he has a couple of passes that almost became goals for 40, 50 yards. A very amazing performance as a passing center back. And then in defense, he was pretty good. That it's a card and always delivers in NA. And now, it was amazing. I was surprised by the decisive. So,
yeah, I think he has the most duels won in the league, or at least highest percentage of duels won. I think in the league.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
In just the 2 games, he didn't play the first game, and then he came in the second game and started dominating. So
yeah, I thought the first goal was kind of like a corner kick, and he hit the header, and then the other one hit the header. It's kind of like a. No, he has a pass, so he was playing almost like a fullback pass. It was amazing, and he had much more opportunities to pass the ball. So very good player. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't have a chance to start consistently. I think he's great. He should be winning that spot, hopefully.
Yeah,
for us.
It definitely seems like he's won the spot for me. The back line for Dallas has been a problem kind of for a while, right? And forgive me, this game that was an Ibiaga own goal, right? It wasn't it's showing up as a goal right here.
But. No, he scored a goal.
Oh, okay.
No, he scored the first goal was, and then the own goal was Ariola, I think, scored the.
Oh, okay, Ariola.
It was goal.
It
was
is.
goal.
Okay,
it was gonna. It was a play. It was goal. It was gonna score, but Ariola put the feet in front. So sorry.
Oh, that's cool. No, when I looked at this box score, it showed it as a goal, not a on goal, but that's fine. Ibiaga, rest in peace, former member of FC TrippinB for sure. I used to have him. I got him so cheap when he went to LAFC last year, and then he was horrible, and I got rid of him because he was horrible.
He's fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep it going because we did take a little bit of extra time on that first one. How about a little
sorry,
1-1
I like to talk
draw?
A lot, so I'm sorry.
No, trust me, and so do I. I can't shut up sometimes. So, but I do know we need to keep it moving. So let's go to DC and Orlando. Teddy Kudi-Pietro's now seems like he's a starter, although he did sub off a half at 60 minutes. Excuse me. Some nice scores for a 1-1 draw here. You got to say, I was surprised. Gallese was killing it, and then he finally conceded right at the end. So unfortunately, but he's looking good.
On the context, I mean, it obviously, Orlando rests some players. So it's hard to make a judgment call of who are the best player of the the assets to have or not have. I'm really worried with Orlando on the sense that the team looks really good, but that means that there is a lot of people taking set pieces. There's a lot of people doing stuff. Like you have Facundo Torres, you have Mauricio Pereira. In the bench, you have Ojeda, which is it was like the best. One of the best players in the Argentina league until now. So I'm worried about Orlando because I don't know who is the boss, right? Like, you can there's not a Celayaran, there's not a Hill in this team, and that's unfortunate, right? Like I mean, Pereira is doing well,
Yep.
but I feel that with having more skillful players, his scoring is gonna be all over the place, right? But
It's
it's
just not
early.
a good time for me to be playing Orlando outfielders. I think Gaese is fine.
Yeah,
And I can't even pronounce this guy's extreme Scandinavian name here, but I would call it Forhalson or something like that.
I'm gonna say
Forgive me
for
for that one.
Hudson. Yeah,
Yeah. He has no card anyway, but it's not a good time to be playing Orlando cards because they're in the middle of this CCL tough tie against Tigres, who's a quality team. So that it's the curse of so rare midweek utility. We always bitch about it, right? In text chats, like, yeah, your guys are playing midweek, but that just means they may not be available for the weekend or they'll sub early, and you're constant. It's like it's a double-edged sword for sure. The midweek utility. What about though DC? Because I think DC is one of the not very good teams in the league. And yet here they are. They scoring pretty well for so rare. I mean, Knaus with the 62, Ruan in a revenge match, 57 and a half. Like, Durkin got the goal plus 25 points. Like,
well, I think. No, I'm with you. I think DC is pretty aggressive on the ball. I mean, you have Matthews Klitsch taking set pieces as a center midfielder. That's a very good card to have if in for the league. I mean, I have a point that they're not scoring many goals, right? I mean, obviously, this is Orlando, the B team of Orlando, right? So DC still looks terrible, but you have players that maybe an undervalued right now, like Pedro Santos playing as a cam as he used to be in Columbus when he came from Portugal. Is a good position for him because he also takes on set pieces and he doesn't have the tax of being a winger and all those possession losses, right? All those missed passes and crosses. 10 points for a camp in AA is a pretty good scoring. So you have assists. They don't have
yeah.
much else around.
If,
Go ahead,
if
sorry.
you're ever wondering, like if you're new to fantasy and you're like, well, everyone's talking about set pieces, sex pieces, as they were famously known for a while
As
on
I
your
say,
original old school
yeah,
podcast, for sure. And you're like, what does that mean? Well, it means corner kicks, obviously. But that, like, look at this: 12 penalty area entry is a kick from outside the box that goes into the box. So almost every corner kick is going to result in that, and you get half a point. And you're just like, when Pedro Santos has 12 penalty area entries, and Mateusz Klitsch has 8 penalty area entries, they're just racking up points. It's just like it's so easy, and you can get attempted assist points off that also. So that really is like the nitty gritty of why those set pieces are so important to the scoring. Benteke had a pretty good game, scored pretty low. I'm sad for him. He did have two big chances missed. Yeah, that was his problem.
Yeah, no, he was great. He was great.
Yeah.
Benteke gives a lot of air to this team. I mean, Benteke is going to be good. The problem with Benteke is just the BCM that we hate so much. At least I hate so much, but it is what it is.
So rare. Fix that scoring. Come on. Let's go. -5 for BCM. That's brutal. Make it 2.5.
It is brutal. It is brutal. So yeah. You talk about QD Pietro. I think he's good, but you have to be aware of Jamil Assad. He hasn't been good in his Latin America tour, but Wayne Rooney asked for him and he trusts him.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna starting. Obviously, if just take it with a grain of salt when somebody's a winger. So I mean, you can get Jamil Assad very cheap right now, but I think, I mean, if you're a new guy and try to get like a budget team or try to do a threshold team, he might be a good play, but you can probably wait and see. So
we're talking about 0.01. He just sold it at half and even less than half of that price at auction yesterday. So that's crazy. That is a good real buy low, high upside opportunity, I think. Well, let's say medium upside. Let's not say high upside. But some upside on an extremely cheap card for sure. And I do like. He's also a player. He was not good here in the 30 minutes of relief on the left wing, but I think he's a player that like kind of needs a few more minutes. So I think as a starter, he can definitely score better. So
definitely.
Who knows? All right, let's jump it over to Cincinnati. The team that won 3 wooden spoons in a row somehow pulls off a 1-0 victory against the team that invented soccer in America, Seattle Sounders. Just an absolute banger of a game. Did you catch any minutes of this one?
It was amazing. I watched the highlights, and it was amazing. I mean, they did a fantastic job. Like, Cincinnati seems is for real. They really. It was a very fun game, actually. I was very, very impressed with the match. I mean, they locked down a very high power Seattle offense. They punched it in the mouth. It was very good performance. I was very impressed by Junior Moreno was good, and Guabodo was good. I mean, Lucho Acosta, nothing to say about it. He's been great. I think the two Brenner and Vasquez were pretty well. And Seattle was good too. I mean, it's just a very good game. I was very impressed by Cincinnati performance. So.
Yeah, I mean, held on. Despite Hagelin getting the red card with 10 minutes left, still were able to hold on. Yamar Gomez did actually score a pretty nice goal that was like just pulled back for a foul in the build-up, unfortunately for him. But it was crazy to see him getting almost like a center forward. He was looking like Kendall Watson of days of old as a center back, just up there like playing near striker for a few minutes near the end of the game. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Still no free Javi Arriaga movement continues. There's a lot of teams that need center backs out there, and Javi can play. I can imagine Seattle maybe holding on to him for depth, but it just feels like he kind of needs a fresh start. Jackson Reagan's played well and scored well again, and let's free Javier Arriaga, can we please?
Yeah, I think so. I think he should be playing another team. He definitely can start in probably other 15,
and
20
also,
teams in the league. So
let's bench Stephen Fry, please. As a Steph Cleveland holder from way back in the day, I'm still waiting for the day that Stephen Fry finally goes away. Not a great game for him at all. Did he even have any saves?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. 0 saves.
And somebody somebody clear a ball from the line. He did move. He did a statue there. So I'm with you there. I think Fry.
Yeah, Nuhu got the goal line clearance.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the play. I think
needed that.
I think it's time for him to retire. For some reason, I don't know why he doesn't do it, but he should.
Yeah, he's holding on. He seems like someone who's not going to go out until it's like he just starts looking embarrassing out there. He's more than content to like hang on and scrape by at 60% of his previous ability. He's going to have to get down to like 30% before he can really start to think about walking away. We talked about Toronto a little bit when we were looking at the individual players. Here's their box score. And Osorio keeps balling, man. He's just that's a card I won like years and years ago. And I was like, I don't want Jonathan Osorio. And I got rid of it. And then like a year later, I was like, man, this guy's absolutely killing it. What was I thinking? Finally, a bad Michael Bradley game. But unfortunately for me, one of my better lineups had Lucas Zelarayan. He's one of my first priority guys this weekend playing against Toronto, right? I thought he was going to crush, and he was horrible. So.
He almost scored at the end. He has. I was surprised that they upped that score at the end, giving a BCM. I mean, but he was.
Thankfully, they didn't. Yeah,
he was good. One thing to remember now, they are the new coach, the Montreal guy, has moving him wide, so that really hurts him a little bit on the AA's part. I mean, nothing to worry about. I mean, it was just a bad game. If he would have scored that goal, I mean, he could have get to 80 points easy. So
yeah, you feel like if he was in his more central role, maybe he would have got the 50 all around that Aiden Morris pulled up. What a game for Aiden Morris! 110 points.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the possession, I think that the passes over the midfield, like they give it a lot of points. They do a lot of duels ones, a lot of. It's amazing intersections too. I mean, he did pretty well. I mean, he was lucky a little bit on the goal. Like it was a pass for like 40 yards out. Jimmy Midranda, an old DFS darling scored. So, but anyhow, I mean, I as I said before, not to extend too much here. nothing to worry about Schuyler. I think Cucho Hernandez and Schuyler probably one of the 2 best cards to have. I have Aiden Morris. I want it. I'm pretty happy with him. I have him in my under 23 lineup,
Nice.
and but I mean,
finally a good reward from Sorare for once in
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'm up in Columbus, especially Cucho and Schuyler. If you wanna add someone else, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dejanek might be a good player to have. Moreira playing as a center back in the 3 center back system is actually desirable. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm high in Columbus, not so high on Toronto. Osorio is good, I think. But Bernardeschi is hit or miss because I feel Toronto is going to have struggle if it promise scoring goals. So
might be a little better if you take Cervania out of this spot and put in Lorenzo Insigne. Who knows?
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Do you have any concerns on Sean? But we're going to move on to his old team in just a second. But I'm a little concerned that Sean is just not it for me anymore. Maybe I'm just a goalkeeper hater.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just you can. I don't know the prices right now, but Sean Johnson in the only NYCFC, which it was a dominant team, is good to pay for. But right now, paying in Toronto for an MLS goalkeeper, for that price, you can get a Europe goalkeeper, you can get a Latin America goalkeeper, Mexican.
Yeah, he's still up at like 0.4, and I know like we could do some comparison shopping, but seems a little expensive for me. Although maybe people are willing to buy him as their capped goalkeeper at this point with the 15L40. It's kind of calling your name as well. Let's check out New York, they were able to pull off a win. I'm of the opinion that this is one of the teams that one that's really bad, that's due for a big drop, and yet they were able to beat undefeated Miami. My boy Pizarro still banging in some nice points, but Jean had a bad game. Mota didn't do as much. This guy Stefanelli. You remember I said imagine Insigne replacing Cervania for Toronto. How about Stefanelli being replaced by Lionel Messi in the middle? Well, that might be good as well for Miami. What do you think?
I think so. I think I mean, if we have Messi in there, I mean, what a treat, man! What a treat to go see Miami every game. But I mean, Miami overall, I think Pizarro was good. He's a decent player overall. I feel Miami. It's a hit or miss. I was surprised that New York City could win this game. Gabriel Perez, decent player. I mean, if you go Barraza cheap, keep Barraza. But I mean, I'm not pretty excited about these 2 teams for Sorare purposes. I don't know if you like anyone here.
Just Pizarro. I really think Pizarro is I think he's still a little bit too cheap. Let's double check if that's actually still true. But I think he's going to continue to do this. I've been I bought his Super Rare card because he was fairly cheap. I felt it was really underpriced. This was right before the season. And I've been reading all these reports about how him and Neville were finally on the same page, and he was feeling like he had like sort of, his last.
Great.
He had another chance. His price has gone way up though. Look at that. Yeah, it's already up in the 06s. I was loving him at 0.04 for anyone. I would recommend anyone would have gotten a rare last week at 0.04 or under. Now you maybe have to look at a little bit longer as he's going up at 150% of that. So, but I do think he's going to continue to do well.
Yeah, Pizarro is kind of like it's kind of those Barcelona midfielders, right? Like Iniesta or something like that. It's just they don't have set pieces. They don't have high volume of shots. But he's a guy that when the game goes his way, he dominates possession. He holds off the ball pretty well. He has a couple of horrible seasons, but I think he seems to be motivated to get better, which is what people say was his problem, right? So
a little bit, yeah. And then just yesterday I read this article or 2 days ago that was like, oh, he's rediscovered his joy and he's playing with more happiness in his life than ever and stuff like that. I just like that. To me translates to good performances. So I really love to read it, and I do think he's a card. I think his price, even at 0.06, if you need a card, if you need a mid, I would go ahead and take the plunge, because he probably, depending on how the market goes, he could push his way back up to that 0.1 ETH range as European players start to fade away and people start to.
Yeah, no, this I'm with you. I think this is a card that most often than not is going to have a positive AA of 8 to 10 points, which is very good. And you might have, I mean, his assists and goals numbers are always being low, but maybe this is the year, right? So,
maybe.
How
about Jimmy Sands, the return? The kid came back. He left a boy. Went to Rangers, didn't do much, and now he came back and he's suddenly a man. 46 AA, absolutely crushing it in the New York midfield.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Could be a you only want to play him at home type of guy. I don't think
Yeah.
it's harder for him to get these kind of numbers away from Yankee Stadium, I'm sure, but 21 possession points to go for is absolutely insane. So
Yeah, no, I agree with what you say. I think he did great, but obviously, if you play Sorare, just remember to play the home away splits. If it's a guy,
Yep.
then you play at home easy. Away, maybe get someone else, but very, very good.
There's that key stat, triple. That 12 points just always looks so good on as a bonus on top of everything else they've been doing for real.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what the City Group is gonna do with N1 CFC, and the team doesn't look good, and they need players, so we'll see what happens.
Very interesting. All right, so the Union are back, or are they? Yet again, it's all about home away. Shout out to Kai Kamara, by the way, for getting a red card like right at the very end of this game. But El Brujo comes through with the assist. That was clutch. Could have helped my lineups a lot. Will be cut. Unfortunately, someone else borked in that lineup. Glesnes back to his old self. But the real big headline, I guess we can't really skip the headline. Andre Blake out injured in the 33rd. Jim Curtin said today that it's a 4 to 8 week injury, maybe probably more like a 6 to 8 week injury.
Oh, it's like a muscle, like a
it's a groin. Yeah, groin
like,
injury. Yep. So yeah.
Ooh, yeah. If I try to you post in the Discord when he went down, and I'm trying to get the other goalie, but it's just hard to get a replacement goalie for like whatever money is right now, right? So,
but, yeah, I wonder. I have a Bendik. Should we explore me selling this Joe Bendik card right now? I wonder
if you could get the numbers that they are selling in. I would,
Yeah, let me check. I'll check it out, because the truth of the matter is, I might post him for sale and hope I make a sale, but I'll go full disclosure. I'll never lie to anybody on the show. Like, isn't there a chance that like they go get someone else and don't start Bendik during this time? Like, I don't know how much they trust him. Like, I could see them go and make emergency goalie signee to fill in for Blake. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I haven't heard any news on that, but I wouldn't rule it out.
I mean, Bendik looked good yesterday. He was feisty. He was fighting. Okay. I think they're gonna keep it. I mean, it's just a matter of like for CCL purposes. It depends how much Philly wants to make a run, right?
True.
If they think to want to make a run, maybe they want to get someone. But I will rely on Joe Bendik. I mean, for me, it will be an easy sell, right? I just but if you come at your profit, and I mean, if he's going to have to go for 6 to 8 goals, I mean, we know that he's not going to take it longer than that. So
I mean, look at the sales. I mean, he's up 500% in 24 hours. That's all you have to look at for sure. So, and of course, Pavel. Someone gave one to Pavel like the day before the game, and Pavel wins again. He like made a little instant 5x on a card that someone just threw into a trash deal with him. So
it is what it is. Somebody has to be the market maker. I'm sure.
Yeah. It looks like he sold that one. It was 33, and he bought, what did he get? He bought 33 of 100. He makes 6x on the card just in his sleep. What a guy, that Pavel trader. Gotta love him.
Yeah, he has he's somebody have to be the market maker. I mean, he did it. I mean, kudos to him. I'm not like trading with Pavel, but hey, I get it. Somebody needs to do it. So what else we can say about?
I think I'll keep Bendik. Bendik for the midweek utility at this point. Yeah, like let's get a midweek out of him, because I'm always short on midweek goalkeepers.
Yeah, I mean, a midweek goalkeeper is maybe the threshold. So if you can get the money back, is sold because of him. I mean, I would say I was obviously the Chicago got a different goalkeeper now. I think Brady looks pretty shaky. I mean, he's young. The goal kind of was his fault. I mean, obviously
it was for sure.
Is the turf is too fast, and it's just different. But
but he was like a pinball cushion, like just bounced right off him into the goal.
Yeah, they have a goalie, right? They got a guy from Malmo, right? I don't know why he's not starting yet, but I believe that guy is gonna lose his spot. Jimenez was good.
That's a strong take, because a lot of people are really banking on Brady.
I think he's losing his spot. It's just he's too young. He needs more time. I mean, they got this
19-year-old goalkeeper for nothing. Crazy, for sure.
What is his name? Shea or something? I forgot the name of the.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah.
It's
Gall, Jeffrey Gall.
Yeah, Jeffrey Gall.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the potential goalkeeper.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I'm a big I like my outfielder players young, and I like my goalkeepers old when it comes to Sorare for sure. Like a
Yeah,
29-year-old Jeffrey Gall, a 30, even Spencer Ritchie wasn't that bad. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really thought much. I know that Ezra Hendrickson, the coach of Chicago, really likes Chris Brady and
yeah.
has shown a lot of faith in him in public statements. But I'm with you, man. The product on the field, I wasn't too impressed with. Did he even have any saves? What did he do?
I
One
think
save
he
inside the
did, but
box.
he looked a little bit shaky, man. And
Right.
like in a game, I mean, even extra. I mean, the problem is like I don't need the goalkeeper to win me the match, but I really need him not to lose the match for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Chicago make a big effort against top team in the league, and giving away that goal. I mean,
In the
going
road,
without
yeah.
points, it's just a matter of like I mean, really sad.
90th minute. 90th minute, man.
Yep,
And it was just it was like a line breaking pass from Jose Martinez to
yep,
Joaquin Torres. Then Torres goes on a nice little run. By the way, man, I've said this on the show before, but so unfair for Philadelphia to add Torres, just like get Torres for free from Montreal as like their big game changer off the bench. He's been
yeah.
great so far in 3
Yeah,
games.
he's just tough. I mean, he's a mismatch. And he
Yeah.
always come pretty good from the bench. And
It's
uh,
it's tough to play him in SO5. I'm not saying you buy him, but just as a fan, it's like, man, Philly, the
yeah,
rich got richer with that move for sure for Philly.
yep, that's it. All right, yeah, not much to say. I mean, if you have Shaqiri, keep Shaqiri. Jimenez is good when he starts. I think he lost his spot with Jairo Torres, but Jairo Torres is always injured these days. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then the other guy is injured too, Navarro. So you have Gaston Jimenez for a while. Was pretty impressed by Navarro performance, but being a winger, he's a defender. So, I would hold my horses on um, to see if he can keep coming. I don't think that performance is might be a fluke. So.
Yep. All right, Minnesota, New York Red Bulls. The game in the snow. I thought it was pretty funny. Red Bulls coach was like at the post-game press conference. He was like, "I don't care if they find me. Minnesota's grounds crew did a shit job, getting this field
Yeah,
ready to play." So he was
terrible,
pretty pissed. I
terrible.
had Dane St. Clair. I thought this would be a clean sheet opportunity for Dane St. Clair. Didn't work out that way, but they did get kind of a scrappy like pinball goal
Yep.
to share some points at least.
Yeah, the game was awful. I mean, it's just a
Okay.
tough field to play. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody wanted to
Did you
play
watch
it.
this game?
I watched the highlights and some of the game. I
Gotcha.
I
I need to
mean, it's
find out
like
what.
yeah, it's just two headers like Reyes, corner
Mm-hmm.
kid, all set pieces. I mean, there was not many much build up play. I'm also like, I mean I think the biggest question on this game is who is not on the field. Where is Reynoso, man?
Yeah.
Where is Reynoso? Because Minnesota looks like
Right.
you know
Robin Lode in the cam is not doing it.
it's just Robin Lod. I mean, I liked a little bit Fragapane. Fragapane was decent. He's taking corner kicks now, and he doesn't have, because he's a forward. He doesn't have the penalty of the goals conceded. So if you look at Fragapane for it's not bad. I think he could have an assist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
10
12,
points for
12
10.
penalty injuries.
Yeah, 10 points for 10 points for a winger is not easy feat in
Yeah.
Sorare. So keep up. I mean, he's still a little bit high for the price than but keep an eye on him. He might be the only game in town until Reynoso shows up, if he ever will show up.
Yeah. I was going to tell people, I was going to brag because I hadn't looked at his box score until just now. I knew Andres Reyes, who I own Reyes, Rare, and Super Rare. I'm pretty invested in this guy. I was going to be like, hey, if you need an under 23 to last you till June, go snag a Reyes real quick. And then I see this injury designation by his thing. So I need to do some research for that after the show, find out exactly what happened to Andres because
Yeah, I don't know what
his
happened. I
scores are
think
coming nice. Yeah. I would hope that I could count on him for next week, but not looking great to be honest. If
yeah, I
see
don't
an
I
injury
don't
pop
remember seeing. I mean, I didn't see when he came out. I mean, probably he was cold. So let's get out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. 89th minute, 90th minute sub that sometimes that's a injury, quote unquote, for sure. Like you never really know. So how about Nashville with another shutout? Nashville's back, baby. The Nashville clean sheet defense machine is back. Hani Mukhtar got the assist to Schaffelberg. Everything's going great in Nashville right now.
Yeah, Nashville is good. I mean, I don't. I mean, Nashville is good at home. They have their defense is good. I mean, they have all these guys playing with each other for a while. But also I would say Montreal looks horrible. So
Yes.
Montreal probably lose more than the coach, right? Like I mean, the the numbers look good for Sorare on the AA front because three center back helps. Then Chonier was decent, taking set pieces. I like this guy Ray a little bit as a cheap play if you can whenever they have a card. But
yeah, hopefully within a month or so they're gonna have
yeah,
the new cards out.
yeah, hopefully. But like I mean, I don't know if like we can say that Nashville is bad or just Montreal is horrible. So I'm gonna give half and half. I'm gonna give
I have to hope that they're horrible because right now Montreal and Charlotte are the two teams tied at the bottom of the table with
no,
0
Charlotte
points
is
after
much more
3
better
games.
than.
So.
I mean, Charlotte is gonna. I think Charlotte should go in the playoff.
I think so too, but until they got to get it together, they got to get together.
Just
for
need
sure.
to adjust. Like Kopetti and Swiderski has to adjust to playing with each other. Swiderski is a very good player. I think he's gonna.
Tell that to our
just need
fans.
to understand.
tell that to Charlotte FC fans because they will not get off the guy's back at all. But we do hate 0-0 draws in MLS. We don't. I don't hate a 0-0 draw that's like well fought and well played. But I come to MLS for goals. Like if I watch a 0-0 in the PL or the La Liga or whatever, I get it. I don't watch Champions League for 0-0, and I don't watch MLS for 0-0. So, but this one had a lot of good green numbers in the scoring. So a lot of people are doing really nice things. Shallowy, as a winger, banging out 40 AA points. That's no joke for this kid, man. I've been huge on this kid.
That's amazing. What did he do? Like, can we say no? I'm very surprised about his number. I know that Bond has like 6 saves or something like that, but
so
like
3 shots on target, 5 contests won, a big chance created, 4 chance created, 10 passes into the box.
How many saves for Bond? Because to
31
get 40
accurate passes. Bondi to get 40 and the clean sheet, he had 11 saves. And that's the second time in his career. He had 11 saves in a game last year, right? Or was that 21?
Yeah, exactly. 11 saves. My God. Yeah.
Unreal.
So, I mean, Kansas City couldn't score. I mean, this could have go either way, right? So, like, what a performance by Bond. Kansas City looks good. I like Tommy, good player for the Matrix.
Yeah, this is the guy I wish I had bought in the offseason for sure. I missed out on getting an Eric Tommy.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I like Eric Tommy's good player. And finally, I mean, nothing else to add. I think that Saloy performance might be a little bit fluky. I like Remy Walter. I think when Radoja start playing, he's gonna lose his spot. So
and Gotti Kinda's coming back at some point too, right?
Yes.
And Polito, so that's gonna hurt Agata. Shelton's probably the first man to the bench when Polito comes back. Remy with a really nice score.
Yeah,
I'm a former Remy Walter owner. But when they got
Remy, I think that Radoja might take his spot. I mean, if they sign up the guy from Spain for something, right? So he finally played first match. He have good for per 90.
Yeah, he 10 AA in 23 minutes for Radoja is not bad at all.
Yeah, and also what you say before, look at those numbers. Home team delivers.
Exactly. So, it's MLS. And Shallowy, you say it's fluky. Well, then I look, he's going up against Kelvin Leerdam. No wonder he had like a bunch of passes into the box. He was probably like all alone on that wing for crosses. So
yeah, for
there
sure.
You go. Disappointment of the day for me was Jefferson Savarino. We talk about playing at home, but unfortunately he was at home and still did not do well, even going up against Gallagher.
He was actually pretty good. It's a fluky bad performance.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Savarino put I mean, it was frustrating to see how little air game Salt Lake had. I mean, it was corner after corner. Then they have opportunities. They couldn't have a shot on target. It was amazing. I mean,
was it Krylock on the corners?
No, it was Savarino. Savarino.
Oh, really? Okay, gotcha.
Savarino was actually decent. Savarino was decent. It's just a matter of
17 penalty area entries is insane. Wow.
Yeah, he did not have people at the end of the crosses. Like
and the BCM got him too. Gah, brutal.
Yeah, it was surprising to me because like they make up Austin coming from the loss, he playing midweek, and no center backs, and still Salt Lake could not get opportunities to score. I mean, kudos to Danny Pereira. Danny Pereira was amazing in midfield, cleaning everything, and then crosses wouldn't make him. So
yeah, Teen Wolf with his goal and assist.
Yeah, Wolf scores a goal like for perhaps half field for 30 yards out. I feel Zach Matt could have done a little bit better on that goal. Zach have a save on Druisi. That was amazing. Like But
Yeah, look at McMath got 60 without a clean sheet. That's insane. That's
yeah,
big time deliverance for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
His
Austin,
owners are got to be thrilled right now.
yeah, Austin is good team, and all of the assets are good. I'm surprised that the poor numbers from Rigoni. He looks better than the number C, but it's just he feels like the third option is scoring. Like it's either Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
Druisi, or Jassy Sardes, right?
Sure.
So, but like Danny Pereira was amazing.
This was
Druisi
a
also,
sneaky win for Austin because they rested Fagundes because of the midweek games and whatnot, and they still got away with it with a road win. So very good for them for sure.
yeah.
Josh Wolf pulled it off somehow.
Yeah, hey, he has his son playing there, and
Yeah.
it's working for him.
Normally, I'm anti-nepotism. I don't think that Wolf's only in because of nepotism. I think he earned his spot. Owen Wolf. I do. I am a parent though, and I am a sucker for like parents seeing their kids do great. So I saw a video of Josh Wolf going up and giving Owen like a big, huge post-game hug. Like, and in that moment, he was more of his dad than his coach, and I was fine with it. I thought it was a really cool moment for sure.
So. Nah, it was cool, and he did well. I mean, obviously, I feel it's a little bit fluky on the goal was definitely fluky, and I don't remember the assist, but definitely. Well, the assist, like John Gallagher having this incredible goal out, so he scored like from the where Ojeda is. So Gallagher scored from Ojeda, so it's one of those assists, and they give you a pass for 5 yards, and the guy just runs with the ball. And the Wolves scored like a similar size. So just I think Zach Madmad missed a little bit on those goals, but it's again is cold, is the turf. The ball is going super fast, so it's just hard to play in Salt Lake City this time of the year.
Yeah, I went to a Salt Lake game last year. It was the only like non-Charlotte game that I was able to get to. I went to Salt Lake and Columbus when I was on a road trip, and it was a horrible 0-0 draw. I think that might be why I'm so pissed at 0-0 draws in MLS. But 2 more games to go through. How about the comeback kids? How about St. Louis, man? Like these guys, they've been down in every game and won every game. Can they keep it up? Is it a fluke? What'd you see in this?
I mean, it's just for some reason it seems this team has been playing together for longer than they have. It just sounds ridiculous, but Jonathan Klaus is the typical Brazilian Joelinton type. Like that guy, is knows where he goes, know how to fix the defenders, the center backs. It's amazing. Lowen and Vasiliev were great. I mean, Lowen is like a perfect player for Sorare. So if you I know he had like very few cars, but if you can get one of those cars, he keeps delivering, man. Indiana Vasiliev took a lot of the corner kicks this time, but
I saw that.
He's just perfect for the game. Lowen is amazing for this game. I like Klaus as a striker. It really reminds me of Joelinton or who is the other Brazilian, Matheus Cunha. Those guys that went to Hertha Berlin for some reason, they kind of like know how to play with their bodies. They're bigger than they are. They're not the typical Brazilian, shifty winger. They're just smart players, and I'm surprised. I mean, I see St. Louis team and I don't like it, but they know where they play. I mean, they spend money on goalkeepers, which I think that's not a good idea. Tim Parker is decent. I don't know. I mean, I feel they're gonna end up at the bottom, but hey, they keep winning.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the younger guys on this team played together last year in MLS Next Pro. So that is a little bit of where their chemistry comes from. I don't think it was Klaus and Lowen, but I know some of them did get a lot of experience like playing together for the full year last year. So, but they brought in Stroud after that, and I think they brought in Vasiliev after that. So I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah. On the other side, Eric Williamson was taking the corners while Evander was on the bench. Evander's performance started to be worrisome.
Yeah, I mean he's for him to go to the bench, on his third game after being a record signing is a little bit rough, right?
Yeah, and he have a preseason coming from Denmark, right? So because the full season there, so yeah. I don't know. I haven't liked Evander much. I think he has problem adjusting to the speed we play here compared to Denmark. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I felt he was sloppy. I felt he's sloppy. Passing is sloppy. He want to take set pieces, but he's not doing a good job. Williamson was great, so I just say, if Williamson might be a buy low candidate still. I think his car is relatively cheap, so
Yeah, he did a little
he did
deceptive.
well.
Like the set
Yeah,
pieces helped, and he got the assist, but only 3 AA. He has better. He has games where he can get 20 AA for sure at Williamson.
yeah, yeah. Williams, the problem is that, like, I think Portland went up, and then they were conservative, and then when San Luis went up, he started to like be more aggressive, right? So, but his position is good for as long as Evander doesn't play, right? But we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. The thing with Evander, like, just to bring it back to Charlotte, as I always do, like, there's a lot of crazy people, in my opinion, in the Charlotte FC fan base who are like, Copetti, Enzo Copetti, if he doesn't play better, we need to send him to the bench. He needs to learn. Like, even a DP is not too good to get benched. And I'm like, what are you people talking about? Like, we're not going to bench Enzo Copetti after 3 games. But then to see Evander going to the bench as a DP in his 3rd game for Portland is just absolutely wild. Maybe they just didn't like his conditioning or something. I'm not sure. Like, but he subbed. He still played 57 minutes. So it's like, why did you? I don't get it. Did he sub in and sub out? Did he come in for Paredes and then sub out later, or what happened there?
I think so, something like that. Now that you say, I don't remember, but I think that was
I'll look that up
happening.
in a second. But yeah, are you worried about him if you own him? Are you selling Evander right now?
Well, I mean, I think the price should be going down, so I will sell. I mean, I think that if you can get a good return for that car, I will definitely sell it. So, I mean, it probably isn't right now, maybe a buy low, but I mean, buy low on Evander. I mean, that I remember that car was close to point 0.5, so I wouldn't play
Oh,
nothing.
he
I
was
would
more
pay
than
no,
that. He was more
yeah,
than that for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not paying anything close to
Yeah, so
that.
it's really weird. He subbed in so Paredes got hurt in the 12th minute. Evander subs in for him, and then Evander subbed out for Nisgoda in the
Wow.
69th minute. So
Yeah,
that he
he
got his
wasn't very good.
57
I
minutes
saw
that
the
he plus
highlights. Yeah,
after.
I
Yeah.
didn't know he didn't put it out. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did rack up a few AAs, but he didn't finish the game. It's never good to be a sub who subbed, obviously. That's
No.
always a bad look. So, final game we're going to go through because again, LAFC and New England is kicking off after we tape this, but the San Jose Earthquakes, there's a rule basically in MLS Sorare, which is always play your guys at home against Colorado, right? It's
Yeah.
so the Earthquakes came through with some really nice scores in that situation, and JT Marcinkowski was back in goal, by the way, ahead of Daniel, the new signee.
Yeah, I was surprised by that, but Daniel has been terrible. So I mean,
Right.
good for the coach. Then is willing to give Marcinowski a chance. I would say one of my favorite players in the league, Christian Espinosa. I wish he didn't play winger because
Mm-hmm.
that guy is a 90-point car. It's a heel car if he wasn't a winger. So he did amazing. Good goal. Put the team on his back, even playing one man down. It's amazing. What he did here in Atlanta the first match, he's a guy that creates opportunities for him and for his team. And I mean, it's just the problem is the possession losses. Like it just sucks. It just
Yep.
sucks being a winger in Sorare. It's just like we love it for other platforms, but here it's just brutal, man.
Yeah, like crosses that don't connect with anyone in DraftKings are like the nuts. That's
Great.
like what you want. But crosses
Yeah.
that don't connect with anyone in Sorare can really burn you sometimes. So
Yeah, it is what it is. And on the other side, I mean, the only I guess Colorado's terrible. I guess the only silver lining is that Jack Price is supposed to be healthy again. So, I mean, I don't know if there is a buy low. I don't know how much is Jack Price now. He has so
let's
many
check
injuries.
Price's price, shall we? As
It
we wrap this
should
baby up, he's
be
an L15 cheat code at 40 for sure if he's going to
and
start again.
and he's under $100. So
Yeah.
it's a card. And Mastroeni. Mastroeni is the coach. No, Mastroeni is the Salt Lake coach. I forgot who is the coach of.
The guy who used to be a defender for LA Galaxy. I forget. I'm drawing a blank on his name also, but yeah.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He say Jack Price finally fine and healthy, and that car
Robin
is
Fraser. Sorry. Yeah.
Robin Fraser,
Thanks.
exactly.
Yep.
So that car for Sorare is very, very tasty because he takes every dead ball and plays the midfielder. He's good dual winner. As long as Colorado doesn't get blown off, I mean it's a.
So you think maybe better days ahead for the Rapids here, despite a slow start of the season for them as well?
I think so. I think Robin Fraser needs to play different guys. I like Cabral. I don't like Yappy. I think Yappy is he needs more time and Bassett as well. I think he should start playing Galvan more and Max. but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do
Yeah,
it.
Max,
So
where's Max? He had a really nice some
yeah,
nice
I don't know.
performances last year. Haven't seen much this year. So he did sub in
Yeah.
last game, but not this past week. So anyway, that's it. We've gone pretty much filled our time here. So very good to talk with you. That's everything that happened. Hopefully you saw a few opportunities in there for buying and selling. And just if you missed anything, that's the purpose of the show, is to get you caught up. It's called the review show for a reason. So Luis, thank you so much for joining me. Just give one last shout out and then we'll get out of here. What's the thing you want to say to the MLS Sorare players of the world?
Oh, just guys, just remember, play players at home, and I will try to get MLS is high scoring, guys. So get the guys and take dead balls, and I mean it's probably the best fantasy league to get in so rare because there's so many matches. They don't stop for international break, and the defense attack mismatch is pretty high. So you probably your Druisi will never go under 60. It's just amazing. It's rare that a player goes under 60 like Schuyler and Druisi, Kucha. So just go get those guys, set and forget. And
come home, Reynoso, please.
Yeah, please. I'm missing that car, man.
Yeah, me too. Well, thank you again, Luis, and everybody. Thank you so much for watching.